gosh, there's so many phones to choose from. The Pixel 5, the Galaxy S21 Ultra, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Wait, what's that? This looks really unique. With that curvy camera? Oppo. I wonder what that is. Let's take a look. All of these phones have been drained and have no battery. Let me quickly charge them up. I'll take a look a bit later, see when they're charged up, which one should I go for.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, let's take a look. The Pixel has 46% charge. The Galaxy has 58% charge, a little bit better. The iPhone has 52% on the charge meter. And the Oppo... Wait, what? The Oppo is fully charged? How is that even possible? It's been just about 30 minutes since I started charging these phones, and it's already full. Okay, hey guys, Vic here with PhoneArena, and this is the Oppo Find X3 Pro, a phone made by Chinese megacorp BBK Electronics that also happens to make OnePlus phones and also owns the Vivo brand. Yeah, it's a huge company, and this particular phone is packed with features that actually give us a glimpse of the future. First, let's just talk about design, because this looks like alien technology to me, with the body of the phone kind of growing into that almost organic camera bump. There is simply no other phone like that out there. So this is a 6.7-inch phone, which means that it's big but not extremely large and heavy like an S21 Ultra or iPhone 12 Pro Max. In fact, it's much lighter than those other phones, and with a curved back and front, it is extremely comfortable to hold in one hand. The buttons are your standard affair, nice and clicky, a power button on the right and two separate volume keys on the left. There is no headphone jack, but you do get a pair of USB-C headphones in the box, and speaking of unboxing, you also get a super fast charger and a cable for free. Another advantage over mainstream flagships. And the Find X3 Pro is just like all other flagships, also IP68 waterproof, so it can withstand a drop in water for half an hour. Where the Oppo really stands out is the screen. It looks gorgeous. 6.7 inches with tapered edges and a tiny punch hole notch. Oppo says the screen displays 1 billion colors, or 10-bit color, and has a color accuracy comparable to professional displays. And okay, this sounds complicated, and okay, great and all, but more importantly, even if you don't have a clue about display technicalities, you'll notice that colors are lively, well-balanced, you have excellent contrast even from an angle, and the screen gets very bright for comfortable use outdoors. Check, check, check. It's just an excellent screen that everyone will appreciate. And of course, you also have a 120Hz adaptive refresh rate for smooth scrolling when needed, but the screen can also scale back to as low as 5Hz to preserve battery when you don't need it. And one unique option on offer in the color settings is a test for color blindness. And depending on your result, the screen will adjust its colors. And Oppo really advertises this. I happen to have color blindness and was excited to try it out, but unfortunately, the adjusted colors after the test looked really desaturated and kind of bad really. So I'm not sure how well that actually works, but I just switched back to the regular color mode, just in case you were curious. Okay, and what about the cameras? Can they rival iPhones and Galaxies? That's the big question. Well, let's find out. Here are a few sample shots captured during the day, and they look pretty good. Take a look at a few more shots and you notice A, the Oppo has a very wide main camera, just like the S21 Ultra actually, and B, photos are often just a bit too bright and overexposed. Oppo has also basically just copied the iPhone camera interface. And while stealing is bad, I have to admit that the zoom controls on the iPhone are the most convenient I have used on the phone. Here you have a set of 4 cameras on the back. But really it's 3 cameras, let me explain. A 50 megapixel wide one with optical image stabilization, and again a 50 megapixel ultra wide one. Both of these use the same Sony sensor for uniform colors. And then you have a 13 megapixel telephoto camera with 5 times hybrid zoom and goes up to 20 times digital zoom in both photos and videos, which is nice. And finally, you have a 3 megapixel micro lens with a teeny tiny ring light. And that's not really a camera, more of a gimmick, but you basically place it directly on an object and it kind of acts like a microscope. It's really cool. It's a gimmick, I know, but it's kind of cool. Anyway, that ultra-wide camera is also really good. I like the way the colors look and it captures a good amount of light, even at night. And speaking of low light, you generally get pretty sharp photos with clean details. And sometimes shots look even a bit better than on the S21 Ultra, which is definitely impressive. Take a look at a few photos yourselves. As to the zoom camera, it is also nice to have, and in many occasions it actually beats the iPhone in terms of details and range. But it's not quite a match for the Galaxy. That is to be expected though. It's about the level of a Galaxy S21 Plus, not quite the insane Ultra. You also have a portrait mode, which is using the wide camera, and you also have a cropped view that looks far better in portraits. And here are a couple more shots, take a look. Also, take a look at a few selfies as well and let me know which phone you think does the best job in the comments. And next, let's also take a look at a video sample. Hey guys, Vic here with PhoneArena, and today we have the Oppo Find X3 Pro, the newest phone by Oppo, which records video in 4K 30 right now, and we're testing its video recording capabilities. So let's do first the ultra-wide camera. So let's switch to the ultra-wide camera, and you can seamlessly switch between cameras while using the phone. And with the ultra-wide camera you get a lot more in view. Now let's switch back to the main camera, and let's turn around right over there and try to zoom in on the bird. Let's try to zoom in on the bird. You have 20 times maximum zoom, so let's go all the way to the maximum zoom level. You can get pretty up close and personal using the zoom capabilities on the Oppo Find X3 Pro. I found audio here, the side noises were a bit too loud with the sea and everything, but image quality looks pretty good. And the video stabilization is solid as well. Overall, I would rate this camera a solid A-. It's usually pretty good, but sometimes I miss the more vibrant colors you get on iPhones and Galaxies. For all else, the Oppo Find X3 Pro is a true flagship, equipped with the Snapdragon 888 chip. It's actually faster than the Exynos-based Galaxy models, so that's pretty good. So how is it for gaming? Well, quite good actually. It has a vapor chamber for cooling and doesn't heat up too much. Plus you have a nifty game space mode, so I can select optimal performance and disable notifications, just like that, pretty useful. Okay, but what about battery life? You get a 4500 mAh battery inside, which is a bit smaller than higher-end Android phones, we have to admit that. And in my use, I get a full day of average use easily, no need to recharge. But take a look at our battery test results. On our web browsing test, the Oppo fell behind the Galaxy series and also most iPhones, with just average battery scores. In our YouTube video streaming test, it scored just 7 hours and 27 minutes, which is again lower than those rivals. But it did kind of redeem itself in our gaming test, where it performed decently and actually outlasted some of the competition. So battery life is a mixed bag, but mostly just average. So we already mentioned the charging, which is great. You get 40% in just 10 minutes, that's insane. And the phone also supports 30-watt wireless charging, which is actually faster than wired charging on iPhones and Galaxies, so that's kind of cool. And I also find the interface, the ColorOS custom Android interface, quite cool. Take a look at these icons, everything is quite simple, you have an automatic dark mode at night, and the gesture navigation also works very smoothly. And those live wallpapers, just beautiful. Oppo definitely knows a thing or two about good design. I also appreciate having advanced options like the system cloner, where you can have a kind of a secret account for your work/personal lifestyle, so you can divide them. Or if you're living a life in secret on some dating app, or whatever. That in a nutshell is the Oppo Find X3 Pro. I love it. The beautiful design, the clean interface, the pretty good cameras, and the incredibly fast charging are just so cool. You also see prices for this phone somewhere on your screen here. It's definitely not cheap, but if you can deal with not quite amazing battery life, I think it's definitely worth checking out. And yes, you may be surprised, Oppo is a company that many people don't even know about, but it has a pretty solid flagship for 2021. And are you willing to switch away from familiar brands to a totally new brand of phones for these cool features? Really curious to hear your thoughts. Anyway, hope you like this if you did, and a sub to the channel would be super awesome. My name is Vic, stay safe, and I'll see you around.